Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and last week me and the Debs took a trip up to Edinburgh, one of our favourite places to visit. So I'll show you what pickups I got, because Deborah says you can go and visit some of these shops that you like FOP, HMV and some record shops, and I thought, well, I think I'll take you up on that one. So as me and Deborah were off the full week last week, I decided to go up to my local HMV and pick up a few things. There was one that I was really after, a vinyl in the sale. It was online on the sale, and I thought I'll never be there in the shops, and it was. So I was so pleased to pick that up. But first of all, I picked up the latest Italian classics collection, Orgasmo. This film's from 1969. It's spine number 85, would you believe, in the Italian collection, and it cost 16.99. This is an Umberto Lenzi movie. I've been after this for quite a while. I was really excited to see it coming into the Italian collection, and it saved me going across to the US to pick one up from there, which is what I was going to do. So with that in mind, I've got a good feeling that Umberto Lenzi stuff will start to go into here, because quite a few that have been released in the States and box sets and stuff like that. And I'm hoping they're going to get released by 88 over here. I don't know if it's got a 2K restoration. It doesn't say on here that I can see, but it does look quite soft, the picture. That's not taking anything away from it. I mean, these films are donkey's years old, 1969, but it's nice and clean, the print. All the Umberto Lenzi films starring Carol Baker are actually pretty good. So this is meant to be one of the better ones. And yeah, it's got on here, I haven't watched it yet, haven't watched any of them, but it's got a longer cut, I believe, an X-rated cut. But I think the X-rated is in inverted commas, so I don't think it's going to be that strong. It's only a 15 anyway, the disc, but I will be watching the X-rated one because I do think that's the fuller cut at this time. I will tell you on a forthcoming video. So that's Italian Collection number 85. That's Orgasmo. So the vinyl I picked up in HMV that I didn't think would be there is the Associates album, Sulk, 12.99. Beautiful blue vinyl. Plays, that sounds incredible. The reason why I got this is for this song, Party Fears 2. It is such a good song. Now, it unfortunately doesn't come with a download code. What a shame, because I would like to get this on in the car, but I will get a download of it. But that song is just absolutely fantastic. The album itself is a bit experimental. Club Country, yeah, that's a good song as well. Hadn't heard any of the other songs. I will say that the late and great Billy Mackenzie is probably one of the greatest singers of all time. His voice is absolutely spectacular. I will leave a link down below to a video where he's singing live, Wild as the Wind. But you will not believe the vocals on that live rendition of Wild as the Wind. But yeah, so I had to get this one when I saw it for the price, because I've been looking at their stuff. It has been quite expensive, but this in a sale, 12.99, the price of a CD. I thought I've got to get this blue vinyl as well. Absolutely brilliant. So that's the Associates, Sulk. So then we went up to Edinburgh on the train for the day, and it was absolutely boiling up there as well, which is quite strange. Usually whenever I go, it's always raining or it's very cold. So I looked around and I did what I usually do. I usually go for a mooch in HMV and then down to FOP, because FOP's moved from where it used to be. Because Deborah said, I wonder if the shop's going to be bigger than last time, because it was quite corky. It was a bit creaky, the floorboards upstairs as well. But it's just a massive area, it's great, actually. I did think that the shop would have been closer to Princes Street, but it's just off Princes Street. It looks a bit kind of lost where it is, but what I usually do is I'll go around the whole lot and then I'll go back and pick up the things I want. I'll have a good mooch for the things I want, and then I will pick up the stuff that I'm really interested in if I see a better deal in other shops. Went for a meal, actually, after we did that, and the meal we had was at this place. I can't remember the name, but I will sort of leave some details of it on the video. You will see the footage that I took inside. I've been here before. I probably talked about this before. It used to be a cinema, and it's close to Princes Street if you ever want to go. And it's a Weatherspoon, so it's quite cheap, but the actual setting of it is brilliant. And I have this curry, which is like a cauliflower curry. It sounds a little bit poor, but when you have it, it's beautiful. I've got to say, and it comes with this amazing, naan bread, and you have the rice and everything. It's great. So when I was in there, I said to Deborah, when we're here, is there any sort of local record shops that I can go to? Because I'm sure there is some around. But this one that we went to first was a one called Asai, I think it is, Asai Records. The prices were pretty decent, but this one here I got was such a great price. I couldn't leave it there, and I've been after this album for quite a while. I have got it on cassette. I've got the second album by these on cassette as well, and it's got one of the best opening lines ever on a record, I feel. You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Yeah. NWA straight out of Compton. Look at that, 14.99. Unfortunately, none of these albums I picked up had any download codes in it. I'm a big fan of this album, big fan of this group. So is my son. He loves this stuff, and yeah, what can I say about this? It's iconic. You've got this gang here who obviously, they went on to bigger and better things. Ice Cube. You've got Dr. Dre, Eazy-E. Well, Eazy-E went on to, he paid the price for his higher living, didn't he? But yeah, so straight out of Compton, absolutely brilliant. So after having something to eat and visiting that shop, went back to FOP. Had a good look through again. I was looking predominantly there for vinyl. The vinyl deals were okay, but they just weren't the right price. So I left them there, and I knew that the stuff I wanted was in HMV. So I went back to HMV and I bought my stuff from HMV. You've got your different floors. You've got stuff for vinyl. I had a good look around the vinyl section. It was a brilliant vinyl section. Also, they've got the middle bit that's got all the Funko Pops and that type of thing, and T-shirts. And then down in the basement, you've got all the physical media. You've got all the 4Ks, the Blu-rays, the collector's items, 88s, and Arrow, all that type of stuff. It's brilliant, and had some really good prices in there as well. But I was after this one here. I've been after it for a long time, mainly because it stars Cynthia Rothrock. It was never had a slip on, and I saw it there for a slip, and I thought, I'm getting that. So it is. The inspector wears skirts, and it's 16.99. I mean, I was hoping for in a bit of a sale. It's been out for ages, but I don't mind it. I've got my slip now. Now, well, put this on. We watched this last night. I had a great time with it, but Cynthia Rothrock makes a guest appearance. She's in the start and she's in the end. Now, we were watching most of the film, which is a bit like Police Academy, if you can imagine that. It's more like a comedy than I would say action, especially for the main part of it. But it's got some great action pieces in, and Cynthia Rothrock is amazing in it, as she always is. And she has we watched the making of, and she talks about it after the movie. We watched that, and it's just such an amazing thing to have Cynthia Rothrock on Blu-ray and 4Ks. It's great. And I did notice, I was looking around just to see where other things were of Cynthia Rothrock, because she'd made quite a few movies, and there's loads of them on YouTube. In fact, there's a stack of them. So I think me and the Debs are going to go through and watch them, because we watched this immediately after I got it. Now, it's a bit of a disappointment that she's not all the way through this, because she just made a guest appearance in it. I think when you see the picture of it, kind of does give that away. It does have a second billing on this movie, but she really should be like and Cynthia Rothrock. I mean, 88, you can more or less trust them unless there's something really bad with the picture, the elements, and they'll put that on the disc to tell you we've had problems with this. You would know that you were going to get a spectacular presentation from 88. So that's the inspector wears skirts. Next up, and continuing my Tygon range, I've got the Body Stealers for 14.99. Every little helps. So I have watched this one, and I've got to say the picture quality on here, it's not a 4K, it's just a Blu-ray. The picture quality here is absolutely stunning. It's jaw-dropping, if I'm honest. Now, that would make me think, I'm sure this is a 4K restoration. If it's not, it certainly looks like one. Like I said before, I just hope 88 put this out as a Blu-ray, but don't want to put them out again as a 4K. I'd have to collect it, but it's not something I really want to go down, because I think this one looks absolutely stunning. Now, what I'll do on here, because I have watched this one, I will have a ranking coming up of my Tygon movies, the top 11. I've watched 11 now of them, and I will put this in the ranking, and I will tell you a little bit more about the story. This is just really showing you what I picked up. But I've got to say, I had a good time with it. I've had a great time with all of the Tygon movies that I've watched, the 11 I've watched, apart from one, which I'll go into more on the video. So that's the Body Stealers. Next up, I got Honey Calder. Now, I watched this film last night. What a film this is. 14.99, another little price reduction. Absolutely brilliant. Now, this movie looked spectacular, but when I watched it, there's too many things in this movie that I thought, I recognize that. I know that person. I know this sort of setup. I know how this is going to go. I know where it's going to end up. So I must have seen this back in the day. But the star of the show is definitely Raquel Welch. She is fantastic in this movie. But everybody else, the gang in here, are absolute deadbeats. It's quite brutal at places, and yeah, but the storyline is absolutely fantastic. But I must have saw this back in the day. again, I will be putting this on my ranking. So that's Honey Calder. Next from HMV, I got Island of Terror. Now, I've been after this for a long time. Now, this here is, I'm going to say, Planet Productions. Now, I didn't know what this was all about, but they're like another releasing company like Tygon, Hammer, and these have done some stuff as well. And they're all going to release, and they have released 88, have released more of their releases. So I think I will be picking this up. Now, this one here is from 1966 or 1965. Hard to see on the side there, actually. I think it's 60, 65. Anyway, so this is a great movie. I remember seeing this in the TV and I was blown away by it. I wanted to get this on physical so much because I think I happened by it on some channel. I don't know what it was. So, of course, when you go to get it on physical, it is like out of print. You've got to pay stupid money for it. So, what I'm saying is, do not bother going for the one that's out of print. Go and get this one. It's got a lovely slip on it. It's got a great presentation. The picture quality is really good. Actually, the picture quality on Honey Calder, which you would have seen, I would have put some stuff up there, was absolutely brilliant. It was a bit grainy at times in the sky scenes, but that could have been just a setting I had it on. I did try it in different settings, and the picture quality was pretty good, but you did see some green at the start of it, right in the sky. It's a Blu-ray actually, but I don't think you get a 4K out of it. It looks quite of its time, should I say, but it's clean, it's lovely, it's great, but it might not be one that would lend too well to a 4K restoration. But I've got to say, it's only a PG, but this movie is such a good watch. And I hope to keep these lines going with the same quality as I started off with. So that's Island of Terror, highly recommended. So that was us finished in Edinburgh. And as we're going back, I did look at my phone again to see well if there's any other record shops in the area. And just before you get into Waverley Station, actually, as you get in there, there's a shop there called Avalanche Records. Now I'd pass this by every time I go to Edinburgh, I pass this by. I never looked in it too much because I wasn't really into me vinyl at that point, but I thought I'll have a bit of a mooch and I tell you what a shop it was. It had so much stuff that I would like to have bought. Had stuff by bands like Dead Kennedys, Crass, had a load of punk stuff. Didn't look for Dickies. I should have looked for Dickies actually. But they had loads of CDs, loads of really good deals, which I got a brilliant deal on two things here. And I do recommend this shop. Really good. It's got like loads of stuff to do with pop culture. It's got loads of posters and everything you can imagine, T-shirts. It's a brilliant place to go. So I've been looking for a CD by this artist for a long time. I couldn't find one anywhere. So Deborah says, "Yeah, look, have a look at this for £5." I went, "I'll have one of them." So it is, believe it or not, Kim Wilde. Now, this is the singles collection, 81 to 93. It does miss off like a few singles that I would like to have on here, but the majority of them, like, Kids in America and all that type of thing, are all on here. There's just something about Kim Wilde. I've been watching quite a lot of her on YouTube, some live stuff. I think she's a great performer, and I would love to go and see her live, but she's still doing it. She still looks fantastic and sounds good. But Kids in America was one of them songs when you heard it when it was out. It didn't matter the fact that it was kind of a bit cheesy pop, but it was like new wave, and it just really did sort of cross over in the path of the punk stuff as well. So I was a big fan of her from that day, and I've not really bought any stuff by her, but I said to the Debs, who said, "You what?" I said I wouldn't mind the best of her stuff, so I can just listen to it in the car. So anyway, for fiver, it's brand new as well. That is the singles collection by Kim Wilde, and also I was going to buy this album. I was going to buy it in HMV, and I says, "No, I'll think about it. I might even get it when I get back and go down to Amazon, pick it up from there." I'm glad that I didn't get it from there. So it's usually around about £30, £35. So for £20, I got Mogwai Young Team, the first album by Mogwai. This is in blue vinyl. It's an absolutely beautiful vinyl presentation. And for £20, brand new, shrink wrap the whole lot. I thought, I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. There you go, look at that. I haven't put the protective sleeves in yet, from the anti-static ones, which I will be putting in there. But this has taken me to nearly having all of my Mogwai stuff on vinyl as well as on CDs and downloads. This is a great album here. Could be one of their noisiest albums. It's got the amazing song on Mogwai Fear Satan down there, which is that one that plays like it goes loud and then it goes to, we can't hardly hear it, and it comes back on like an explosion, which is great. It's got some great songs in here, like Herod, which is really creepy. It's quite unnerving, that song, actually. In summer, I think they played that the last time we saw them. They don't seem to play much stuff off this album apart from Mogwai Fear Satan. Are you still into it? I think that gets played a bit. But cracking value from that shop. So I do recommend that shop if you're ever in there and you're just passing through like we were, and you want to get some cheap vinyl or a good vinyl that nobody really else seems to stock. Do take there's ice cream van. Put me off. Do take a look at Avalanche Records in Edinburgh. So when I came back home, we did go to HMV again. I was looking for a few things that I didn't see at HMV up there or FOP. Couldn't find them, but I will get them down the line, probably get them off online. But I did see this one. I was looking in the sale to see if there was a few things in this, really good sale that they've got online, but you can get some of the stuff in HMV. So this is another album that I've been after for a long time on vinyl. I've had it on CD before. I did get rid of my CDs by this band. I don't know why. I think I wanted to get the new lot of CDs that came out, but then I realized that the new lot weren't really too much different from the old lot. And it is Tour de France by Kraftwerk. Now, it's supposed to be £65. It's down to 37, which is a great bargain. But really, if you look online, they're usually around 37 anyway. This is a ton weight, this thing. It's black vinyl. This is the last album that Kraftwerk had out that had any new songs on it. I know they've rejigged their songs for a lot of years after this. This is in 2003. So this was the last new Kraftwerk album, which I do believe is going to be, there's going to be no more. I don't think they're ever going to put out any new material at all. Bit of a shame that, but I think it's because Florian Schneider, he passed away. And I think what they did after that was they just thought, we'll just not do any more new stuff as a sort of thing to him, which is quite good in a way. But yeah, so Tour de France weighs a ton. And I haven't played this one yet, but the one I have played, when I got back, I was looking online to see, because I've got a couple more Kraftwerk to get. I think actually this one, I think I only got one more to get after this, or maybe I've got them all. So when I got this one, it's usually around about the £30 mark. It was there for £21. So the last one I got in here was Technopop. Now I'm saying the last one, I do need, this is the remastered, no, should I say the remixed version of Electric Cafe from 1986. Technopop for me is more like a reimagining of Electric Cafe. I know it was supposed to be called Technopop when it first came out, but this is I would say this is black vinyl as well. And I played this, sounds absolutely, the quality of it's just unbelievable. So it does change some of the songs around. It's got the telephone call, it's got no lyrics on there. It's got a remix of it called House Phone, which is not really anything that you would even put on. We may put on as a bonus track, but they missed off two good tracks and altered some of the running times and the track listing on here, which is fair enough. But I will be going back to try and get the original version of Electric Cafe on vinyl, which is around about £40 at the minute because it hasn't been repressed. So, when I win the lottery, I will probably pick that one up. But this is great to have this one. It's probably my final one that I need in the Kraftwerks. I would say the later discography from Autobahn to Tour de France. So that's what I picked up last week, and I think I've done really well there. I think I've got some great stuff. And what I've tried to do, as I've said, I've tried to go and watch these as quickly as possible. So to finish, let's do a quick transplant. So first up, price tag comes off, and there you go. All the single slip covers go in these ones. Obviously, the fatter ones will have to get bigger ones for them. Just look brilliant, and they're so protected. So once that goes in, it'll look exactly the same. So the one I'm going to transplant a shrink wrap onto is 88 Grizzly. Now you have to take the shrink wrap off, the slip cover off, to put the shrink wrap on. It just won't go on. Or it will go on, but it takes about 10 years to get it on. And I did find that out, you know, do that. I did find that out the hard way, so don't ever do that. There, there you go. That'll go back on the shelf. It's not the tightest of shrink wraps, but it means it'll protect it for just that little bit longer until I probably get this one. in a case as well. So there you go. That's what I picked up in the week of last week, the Edinburgh week's holiday. So it's back to the grind now. And the next video you'll see will be my listing of the top 10 or 11 Tygon releases. So thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.